In this video, we will be ranking Africa's most impressive military parades, from the 7th position to the 1st. Military parades are not merely spectacles of discipline. They are symbolic theaters where nations present power, pride, and historical consciousness. In Africa, parades tell stories of conquest, liberation, and resilience. Each country's parade mirrors its history, colonial legacy, and national ambition. Based on skill, formation, discipline, historical resonance, symbolism, and modernization, these are 7 African countries with the most impressive military parades. 7. Cameroon. Cameroon's military parade. Though sprite and modest in scale and limited by resources, the country's complex colonial past, first under Germany, later partitioned between Britain and France, produced a bilingual military tradition reflected in its ceremonies. During national events like Military Day, troops march with noticeable pride, often in tight formations under the watchful gaze of political and military leaderships. The parade is smaller in scope, largely infantry-based, and accompanied by brass bands that play French-style martial music. The uniforms and drills show a blend of French ceremonial precision and British regimental order, symbolizing the country's dual heritage. Cameroonian parades are deeply symbolic of national unity and survival. Their modesty carries authenticity, representing a nation balancing its colonial legacies and internal division. Occupying the 6th position is Ghana. Ghana's parade stands out for professionalism and ceremonial grace rather than size. On each Independence Day, the Ghana Armed Forces perform a dignified march pass that reflects British military discipline with Ghanaian character. The formations are precise, the uniforms neatly tailored in national colors, and the coordination between units is often textbook British style. Salutes, colors, and cadets are all executed for perfection. Though Ghana's armed forces are not among the continent's largest, they are among its most respected for professionalism. The parade lacks the mechanical and air display of Egypt or Nigeria, but they exude quiet strengths. Ghana's colonial inheritance is visible in the formalities, reviewing officers, bank processions, and flag presentations, but the symbolism has evolved into one of national pride and peacekeeping leadership. Ghana's parade culture represents discipline with ostentation, a refined blend of British ceremonial heritage and African dignity. It ranks 6th for its elegance, professionalism, and precision, even though it lacks large-scale display power. Coming up at number 5 is Morocco. Morocco's parades are royal in character and deeply rooted in monarchy. The parade, attended by the king as supreme commander, blends French and Spanish ceremonial influences with Moroccan heritage. The result is a strikingly formal and regular display. Troops march with impeccable discipline. The Royal Guard displays mounted cavalry with ornate uniforms, and the parade ground becomes a symbol of royal authority and national unity. The formations are geometric and carefully choreographed, while parade bands echo European martial tunes mixed with Arabic orchestration. The colonial imprint of France and Spain remains visible, from the drill movement to the officer's uniform. Though not as massive as Algeria's or Egypt, Moroccan parades project sovereign authority and historical continuity. Its ranking at number 5 reflects its high ceremonial quality, though its displays remain more traditional and symbolic than demonstrations of military might. 4th on the list is South Africa. South Africa's parades are among the continent's most polished and inclusive. The South African National Defense Force, with its Army, Navy, and Air Force, displays multi-branch precision influenced heavily by British ceremonial tradition. Drill formation, band performance, and regimental presentation reflect the historic British model. Yet post-apartheid reforms infused these parades with a democratic message of unity. The display includes black, white, and colored troops marching together, something that would have been unthinkable decades ago. Veterans, peacekeepers, and modern mechanized units parade side by side, often accompanied by aerial displays and naval contingent. South Africa's parade culture ranks 4th for its precision, professionalism, and political symbolism. It is less about skill, more about message, a sophisticated balance between power, history, and inclusivity. Sitting on the 3rd position on this list is Algeria. Algeria's parade are among the most emotionally charged and hysterically resonant in Africa. Every July 5th, the streets of Algeria transform into living memories of revolution and liberation. The People's National Army parades heavy armor aircraft, missiles, and disciplined battalions under the watchful eyes of political and military elites. Algeria's parade culture is a direct reflection of its war of independence against France. The precision, skill, and emotional weight rivals Egypt's display, though the French ceremonial influence remains clear in the marching style, band composition, and parade structure. Yet, Algeria has succeeded in transforming colonial legacies into a revolutionary identity, where every formation step honors the fallen. The blend of patriotism, heavy mechanization, and symbolic choreography earns Algeria the third place. A parade culture forged in war, disciplined by nationalism, and executed with French precision. Coming up at number 2 is Nigeria. Nigeria's parade ceremonies are among the largest and most elaborate in Africa. On Independence Day and Armed Forces Remembrance Day, the nation's capital Abuja becomes a military theater of strength. Infantry columns, armored vehicles, mounted troops, and flyovers by the Air Force dominate the skyline. The trooping and presentation of color parade illustrate British ceremonial influence, blended with Nigerian grandeur. The structure of regiments, saluting protocols, and marching formations trace directly to British tradition, but Nigeria amplifies them with national colors, indigenous music, and impressive skill. Nigeria's history of war, the Biafran conflict, peacekeeping across Africa, and ongoing counterinsurgency adds depth to its ceremonial culture. The Sherman power, the heavy mechanization, and the symbolism of unity amid diversity makes Nigeria's parade continental spectacles. However, colonial formalities still dominate parade architecture, leaving limited room for indigenous display style. Thus, Nigeria ranks second, massive in skill, rich in symbolism, and disciplined in formation, though still stylishly Western in presentation. If you like this content, do well to click the subscribe button. Don't forget to turn on post notification, like, share, and comment. Thank you. Moving on to number 1 is Egypt. Egypt stands at the summit of African military parade tradition. Its parades are monumental in skill, symbolic in purpose, and professional in execution. As Africa's strongest military and one of the top 20 globally, Egypt parade ceremonies embody ancient grandeur fused with modern power. Held during Revolution Day or Armed Force Day, this parades feature infantry divisions, armored brigades, air formations, and naval detachments. The precision and synchronization reflect a hybrid of British ceremonial order and Soviet tactical display, presenting Egypt's unique military evolution between Western and Eastern influence. Pharaonic and Arab symbolism is embedded in the spectacle. Massive flags, choreographic flyovers, historical reenactment, and orchestra bands echoing national anthems. Every movement reinforces Egypt's identity as both a civilizational heir and regional power. British influence lingers in trills and protocols, but Egypt's ceremonial culture has transcended colonial origins to express sovereignty and continuity, stretching back millennia. For grandeur, discipline, and symbolism combined, Egypt ranks first, a nation where the military parade is not just ceremony, but state theater on a monumental scale. Overall, African military parades reflect the continent's complex relationships with colonial inheritance, modern ambition, and national pride. Which of these countries do you think would have come first and why? Drop it in the comment section. We would like to know. Don't forget to subscribe and share. Thank you.